Welcome to the podcast of disaster. I'm your host, NOP Matrix. The O is a zero, and here with me is,
Hi, I'm LordM.
and this is OC Talk once more. This time it's Lord M's turn with his hosties.
Jess the sheep and Reina the dingo Tenrek.
And that already answers question one. What are the names? Now then, on to question two. What inspired you to make them?
Well, this is the thing. Let's start with Jess. Jess originally what came from a stream uh, of a of an artist that decided to draw Yanoen by memory, and it was like kind of similar, but at the same time she wasn't Yanoen. That I asked for permission to use it as an OC. I say referring as she was Yanowen's cousin and stuff like that. And she said yes. And after like a few months of using it, I decided to give it a redesign and changing her lore a little bit, which as you can see right there, she's now kind of like a cyborg. The
Ooh,
reason the
flip.
reason why I decided to redesign it is because she was the only OC, quote unquote, that it wasn't mine, and if something happened, uh, I did not want any controversy, so I decided to give it my little spin and make it dark. Also, one of the few times I draw a woman being a little bit more, you know, spicy.
Ah, yes.
Uh, as
Anyways.
as for Reina, well, this is the thing. Reina wasn't supposed to be a thing. I made it as a joke for RP with one of my fellow role players named Multiversal Deku. Uh, we kind of made some kind of like time skip and, and stuff like that where his character married Tico and mine has well was got divorced with Surge and have this kid around. She was an edit of Surge back in the day when I first had her around. She was just purple and green and that's it. I just ran with it. But but then after a long time, uh, I decided to bring her back and change her lore a lot as well as some of her design, make her more like a hater of her mom. Because Surge basically abandoned her and, abandoned his dad to their own luck. So he was raising her alone. After a while of running with the old version of Reina, I decided to make a hard reset of the lore and start over again. Well, after a while, I decided to, yes, you can see, bring her back with a new design and a new thing.
Hmm, that's interesting. I'm guessing technically you already answered question three, but I'm gonna ask it anyway since you still haven't answered it
Yep.
fully. What's the lore?
Well, for Jess, she is Yanowen's cousin, and she was very inspired by her so much that she decided to dress like her and you know kind of act like her. But sadly, the last part didn't happen because she was kind of like a gyaru, you know, walking around with her phone, being a little sassy sometimes, being in the dressing very well sometimes, and then tragedy kind of strikes and Starline. She was chasing after Starline with a group, and she and her group fall in a trap, and the group left her behind. Starline took advantage of that, uh, kidnapped her, and turned her in the person that she's already is, a cyborg. But before she was turned into a cyborg, she was married and had two kids. They belong from to another fellow RP named Mr. Choco. Uh, and well, luckily they managed to recover her memories, and now she's happy back with her family. But of course, she's not completely the woman she used to be.
Uh,
As for
Bleak
Reina,
ending.
yeah. As for Reina, well, I already said she basically, well, I did not say everything, but Reina, when the timeline got resetted, or well, in other words to say, I basically do a reset of the lore and all of that to start over again. She was trapped in the white void, that white void of the Sonic Generation thing. She was watching everything of the new timeline to some kind of magical portal or stuff like that. I did not think on that very well. I'm still building the lore. And she saw that her mom was doing everything to prevent the bad thing that happens in the old timeline to happen in the new one. And one of them, it was not getting with her dad, which means Reina was never going to be born. Of course, Reina got pissed off and decided to find a way to leave the white void and start and seek revenge, or at least confront her mother on why she did not get with it with her dad. After 12 years in the white void, she managed to break out and then end up in the Sonic and the Black Knight's universe, where she basically started training for 2 years to get even more stronger. And during that time period, she encountered a version of Surge by Higher Surge. As you can expect it, she got triggered and fought by Higher Surge. And this is the thing, by Higher Surge was about to kill Reina because she was basically too strong. Her electrokinesis was too much for her. And by some strike of luck, she awakened a power which is absorb the electrical powers of anybody with electricity, and that will cause her to not only make her stronger but also heal her. She used that to her advantage to weaken by Haya Surge, and when she had the upper hand, she killed her. Which, as a reward, she decided to take the helmet and use it on herself. Of course, then after a little while, she managed to find a way to come back to the white boy, and knowing fully well that she can now come back and forth to the white boy, she started to ask herself, what if I go to another universe? Can I do that? She started to practicing again in the white boy, and at one point she managed to open a portal to the Idle Y universe, where Surge basically was showing on the screen saying we are heroes and stuff like that. I don't remember the number of the issue when that happened. But basically she said, oh, there's my mom, I'm gonna fight her. She went there, and dude, she was quite strong for that version of Surge. She basically two-shot her. She caught her by surprise and killed her right in front of the people. Absorbed her power and absorbed her electrokinesis and took her jacket. And then she did the same, but with a Surge that was in the issue 74, where Blaze was involved with Amy and Tails. But sadly, she did not get the chance to kill her because Blaze got in the way, then basically distracted her young enough for Amy, Tails, and Kitsunami grab Surge and take her away to safety and escape. Reina got so mad that she decided to fight Blaze. It was a hard-fought battle. Reina almost died, but in the end she came victorious. As a reward, not only she killed Blaze, but she took her heals. But something else happened. She somehow absorbed some of Blaze's powers, and technically she should have pyrokinesis, but sadly she cannot use them because she doesn't know how to activate them. But she needs to awaken that power. So that's basically that much of the current Lord of Reina. She already killed three three important characters, and now she's trying to see who's the next victim who's going to be, uh, fighting next.
Lore, deep
Lord,
lore.
it's a mess.
And that brings us to the next question. Do they have a family?
Well, as I said, Jess has a husband named Turbo, and two kids named Cloud and Spike. And Reina, well, she used to have a family. She used to have her dad, and a half sister and a stepmom. But sadly, when the universe reset, she's now alone.
That's dark.
Yup.
What's not dark is favorite things. What do they like? Whether it be food, activities, what have you.
Well, Jess like to cook. Like to cook a lot, especially with that new arm she has. She's having a lot of fun. Uh, she's now basically cooking for people on the street and giving them food. As for Reina, she used to have the activity of playing video games with her dad as well, doing other activities with him, like the farm, like farming with him and things like that. Their favorite food is Jess likes to eat, well, used to eat pudding, and Reina favorite food is basically pizza, but not any kind of pizza. Pizza with pineapple.
I can respect that. That brings us shifting from favorite things to I don't know how to transition. Do they have any alternative forms or powers?
Ooh, well, Jess doesn't have any transformation, but if we want to count as power, it's just the upgrades she has on her body, like seeing through walls, seeing the heat of the on people's body, uh, detecting the life of the person, and enhance speed, strength, stuff like that. That brings with the her turning into a cyborg. As for Reina, she 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 has powers. She has the electrokinesis from her mom. She has portals from her dad. She can run as at this point she can run almost as fast as Sonic due to the amount of people she absorbs powers from. She has the pyrokinesis, but she cannot use it because she didn't awaken it yet. Uh, as for transformations, she only has the water form, the unleash, the Sonic Unleash thing, which she basically turns 12 feet tall, but still quite the disadvantage for her because she's kind of sacrificing speed.
Ah, powers. What a thing.
Yep.
Next up, from powers to work. Do they
Oh,
have a job?
well, Jess used to work for the restoration, but now she just do charity by giving food to the people that is in need. And Reina doesn't have a job at all. She's just a homeless girl, a 21-year-old homeless girl.
Ah, and coming up from and up next, are they affiliated? Or do they know somebody from the canon history of the Sonic universe?
Well,
I
yes, Jess is Yanowen's cousin, so that's the only connection she has. As for Reina, the only canon character she should be connected is going to be Surge, which that's her mom. Kitsunami, it's the uncle. Styx, also an auntie. Belle, as well, she should be an auntie as well. And the last one, I think it should be Yanowen, which she, when the timeline was fine, there was no reset and stuff like that. Yanowen was kind of like her teacher, a parental figure, because she somehow related to Yanowen, so they kind of bond there. Even like there was like a mom and daughter thing without exactly being mom and dad. They were mom and daughter. It was something nice they had.
Parental roles.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of affiliation and relations, do they have a love interest?
Well, Jess only has his husband, all right, and nothing else. Remember? And Reina doesn't have anyone. I haven't thought on who should like, or what type of sexuality she would like. She would like boys, she would like girls. I still haven't thought on that.
Shipping.
Mm-hmm.
What nonsense can ensue? And what other nonsense is, do they have a rival or enemy?
uh, Jess doesn't have anyone. She has no enemies. She's too nice. As for Reina, well, she really hates Surge. She also hates Whisper because at one point Whisper kinda made a little prank to for April Fools. Like it was a little innocent, like just like those green pie things that you throw to people's face, kind of like that. And you
Yeah.
know that was too much for Reina, that she started hating on Whisper for that. But the person that she hates the most is Surge.
Yes, that's Henrik. Speaking of, I am slowly losing my mind. But ignore that for a minute. Do they have fan art?
Nope, none at all. But maybe one
Ah,
day they had.
only time will tell.
Oh
And
wait, no,
speaking
they
of
do
time,
have an Jess do have. I just remembered. Jess do have a fan art. Let me see if I can find it. They was made by the creator of her husband, Mr. Choco. This is before she was turned into a cyborg. It happened
oh,
on Valentine's Day.
oh, that looks nice.
But Reina doesn't have anything. She's still new. She just came back from
Yes.
the void.
The newbie. Not much, but soon. And
But
speaking of
soon.
soon, we're nearing the end, but you know what? And so we must know, if what do you want them to be at the end of your history? Their history? Our history.
Our. Well, for Jess, I just want her to be at peace with her family, just living the rest of her life with them, because she already went through enough. And I think just a nice and calm ending is very nice for her. As for Reina, I do plan a redemption arc for her, where she's going to grow up and become a doctor. She will be insanely strong, but she will kind of get humble and given a second chance. She would see that she was in the wrong, and she's a monster, and that would help her to redeem herself. And she at the end of her story is gonna be a nice one. She's gonna turn into a doctor and is gonna be helping people. That's pretty much it. Trying to do the right thing. Even though the people she fight, even though the person she encounters, for example, her dad is not exactly the dad, is a completely different version. Uh, she kinda likes that and wants to do the right thing for him because uh, the her dad, the new version, literally asked her, "What would you dad do? The person you know. What would he agree to this? Would be happy?" And stuff like that. Kind of talk her out of the bad ways, and kind of would work. She would start doing the right thing for everyone, and from her dad.
Hmm. Never ending story. Well, there is an ending story.
Yeah, she kind of deserve a quote unquote happy ending. She will still hate her mom, but it's not gonna be that much. It's gonna be like, okay, you were an asshole. You left my dad, but you're always trying to do the right thing now. And I guess with time I could forgive you.
Until some new issue comes out.
Until the new issue
And,
comes out and everything goes down the drain. And she was like, oh come on, you were doing right.
well, that's all we have for today. I have no idea how to end this thing, so um, this is NLP Matrix, and
I'm LordM.
it's been the podcast of disaster.
Bye.
See ya.